and it turned into an all night long party. We partied till 5 that morning in the booth while getting tattooed. It was outrageous. They still talk about it. I'm Jim Clements. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina.
My name is Tisha Clements. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. Me and my husband has been collecting for about 4 years.
I never knew I was going to be a tattoo collector. It just kind of fell into it. Something that just started by accident, actually.
Me and my husband's always talked about tattoos ever since we've been together, and we've always loved tattoos, so I never really thought that I would ever be a collector of it until we met Big Gus and James Vaughn, and we just kind of got attached to the tattoos and the artists. They're all spectacular artists out there, so we just kind of became just attached to it. And it's kind of like once you get the very first tattoo, you just kind of get addicted to it. So we just have to have more and more and more.
When I was 19, I got my first tattoo, and it was this piece here. I still have it. It's from Mr. 317.
My first tattoo, it's actually covered now, but my very first tattoo was a bunny rabbit by Mr. 317. He was our first artist.
A friend of ours grew up and wanted to be a tattoo artist. I went to school with him, and he said that's all he ever wanted to do, and that's exactly what he did. Still does it to this day.
The longest session I've sat on a tattoo is 10 hours by James Vaughn.
Actually, my back, I sat for 9 hours, got the entire outline done from my shoulders to the bottom of my butt.
It was a koi fish and flowers. It was from my waist all the way down to my knee.
Our tattoos are meaningful. They represent places. We do a lot of tattoo conventions. They represent the places that we go to get them.
The one that James Vaughn did on my legs, because I'm Pisces and I love anything that has to do with the ocean and the water. So when I got my koi fish and the mermaids and stuff on my leg, it was kind of really cool to me. I have the falling and rising phoenix. That is very meaningful to me because 2.5 years ago I had a brain injury. And when we found out about rising phoenixes being someone who has made it through and survived, then that's kind of the way I think of it, because I survived through a brain injury and made it through, and so it was very important to me and meaningful that Big Gus did.
Most of the tattoo artists that we got tattooed with have become family, so they just remind us of that time that we spent with them. This has been a great ride, you know. Our lives have changed dramatically since being tattooed.
Me and my husband spend a lot of time together. We get to travel a lot together that we've never got to do before.
We've made so many friends all across the world, really, just by being tattooed. It's like a family.
I guess because I've never been an out person, and now that I've got tattoos, I'm more of an out person to where I talk more. I'm not as scared as I used to be to get in competitions and let everybody see my body with tattoos. It's helped me a lot being self-confidence of myself.
We spend vacations, holidays with tattoo artists that we've friended. It's a great thing. I mean, we love our life now. We wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm gonna say the most memorable tattoos. It's actually 2 tattoos. It's my hands, it's my mom and my daddy. The significance, not only being my mom and dad, but I had Bob Tyrell and Marshall Bennett at the same time doing my hands. And it turned into an all night long party. We partied till 5 that morning in the booth while getting tattooed. It was outrageous. They still talk about it. Hardest part of me getting a tattoo is sitting still.
Just sitting still. Otherwise, it's not really that hard for me.
I'm a big guy. If I'm required to lay down for a long period of time, it starts wearing on you after a while.
It's kind of like a therapy session for me to get tattooed.
But it's more like the body constriction where you just, sometimes you got your arm back behind your back or you laying in a funky position. That gets wearing on you sometimes.
I like to sit through tattoos, even though they all hurt and you have to go through the pain of certain areas more than others. It's really a relaxing therapy for me.
The furthest we've traveled to be tattooed is we traveled to Italy to the Milano Tattoo Convention.
Traveling to Milan, Italy and getting tattooed was awesome because I never thought that I would be able to leave and go travel that far out of the United States. You know, we was kind of worried about getting passports and how to travel, and because it was the very first time. It was incredible.
That was amazing. That's the furthest we ever been. We got to go to H.R. Geiger's museum in Switzerland while we were there. That's as far as we've been. I sat with Sarah Miller there, and it was an amazing show. It's
a long flight, but it was an amazing trip, and got to see a lot of artists over there, and the art that they do over there was amazing. Most of my research of artists is through word of mouth. We do go online a lot and look through Facebook, through Instagram, but most of our artists that we find is mainly through word of mouth.
It started that we just looked online, and obviously there's more famous tattoo artists that everybody would like to get tattooed by. Now it's more word of mouth. We get tattooed by a good tattoo artist. He's like, hey, you ought to check out so-and-so. We look and we found, you know, because this world is full of amazing artists. I mean, there's so many. I don't have enough skin to get tattooed by all the artists I'd love to be tattooed by. Best thing that's ever happened in our lives. We'd never done it. We've never been on an airplane. We've never been out of the southern states.
Oh, I feel awesome about getting to travel and getting tattooed with my husband. He is an awesome person to be married to. He's taught me a lot ever since I've been with him. We've been together for 24 years, so you know, that's the most important thing for me, is to get tattooed with my husband and to be able to travel and be with him by his side constantly.
We hadn't done anything really until we started getting tattooed, and we met Big Gus, and he tattooed me, and he said, man, you ought to go to a tattoo convention. I didn't even know tattoo conventions existed. So we went to our first tattoo convention with Gus, and we were hooked. Now we've traveled all over the world. We do a lot of tattoo conventions. I love to see my wife get in the competitions. She has beautiful tattoos. She's a beautiful lady. And most people are amazed when she drops her clothes into her bikini and realizes that she's covered. I love it. It's the best life, and I think I would never go back to doing anything else. I love traveling and doing this.
I have gotten tattooed by
James Vaughn, Marshall Bennett,
Big Gus, Big Gus's wife, Gypsy Rose,
Sarah Miller, Loco T,
Mike P,
Randy
Engelhard,
Corey Ryan,
Chris Dawson,
Teach
TJ
Poole,
Poole,
Mr. 317,
Bob Tyrell, Scott Sheen,
Vince Villavazio, James Clements, Jack Rudy,
Dave Tabanal,
Josh Payne,
Vic
Vic
Ulrich,
Ulrich, Joey Germanero,
Pete
Carino,
Carino,
Boris.
Nico Perez.
My name's Jim Clements. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina.
My name is Tisha Clements. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina. And thanks
you
for
checking
out our collection.
It's harder than it looks. I need a drink. Oh, you're a hell of an editor. I thought this would be easy. I feel like a moron. I'm like, what am I over staggering around?
That's a wrap. You done, bro. You done, man.
That is so good luck.